everyone. How are you guys doing today? I always think of a show called Romper Room when I was a little kid in San Francisco area, and there was this show that was called Romper Room for kids that were younger, and the lady had a magic looking magnifying glass, and she would say, "I see you, Mary. I see you, Adeline. I see all of you today. Welcome." so, so every time that I say hello, guys, that's the first thing that I think of. So I figured I would share that as we are looking for some others to check in. Um, Anyways, if you're from the Bay Area and you're around my age, then you'll remember it. But if not, then I think it was a local Coin 6, I think, or something like that. And I found out, I thought it just aired everywhere, kind of like Sesame Street.
Sure.
Nope, it was a local. And it was awesome. I just want to say that. Okay. There you go. That's very nice. I'm glad you remember it. All right. Thank you for entertaining my funny little mind story. We're just going to go ahead and move right into this because I've got a few things to show today. We'll see how far we get by 5 o'clock. And a portion of that reason is that with Debbie down for the next few weeks, the orders may not be coming in so quickly. And so I'm going to just stretch out all the showings for you so that we don't have nothing to give you every week. So at least we'll give you a little something. And if not, then I'll make some stuff up to give you a little something. Okay, so this is a mini cinch machine. It's from We Are Memory Keepers. I'm going to go ahead and open it up. One machine. So if I open this, it's going to have its sticky stuff. So if I open this, we're going to need to make sure that this goes to a store person. Because with it open, we can't sell it as new except for in our store. So,
say hi to Glenn.
Hi, Glenn. How are you doing today? Can somebody, because I know that she has shared it with people, can somebody tell me how Irene is doing and what the process she's in right now for her breast cancer? I talked with Debbie last week to make sure that she knew. And so I'm sure that she would like an update just as much as I would like an update. Okay, this is a cinch machine. What it does is it makes binding books and journals so much easier. So if you are enjoying making journals like I am, and my mom said the other day, I need to make something for these ladies that travel and I don't know what to do. Do you have something I can offer them? And I said, sure. So I showed her how to make a simple journal. And she filled them and they loved them and she loved it. And she decided that that was more fun than making cards. And so I have a monster on my hands now. Anyway, so the cinch, it basically lays flat like this for you with the handle holder down. And it's going to give you a cut back in here. If I was to pull this open and out, which I guess I can, but I'm not going to because I'm afraid that what happens if I do some harm to it before it ever gets to you. So you're going to take the handle piece and unlatch it. There are different ways to measure. So the size of your paper or the size of your book that you want, you will have an A, B, or C. So depending on how far in you want it into your booklet, will depend on where this gets cut. So it's talking about in B, for example, an A4, an A5, an A6, and an A7 will work in it. And that's basically the going to the middle section here and doing this with the middle centerpiece. But if you're going to do a whole ½ inch, then it's going to set up the way that it cuts from a different angle. So I hope that that helps. I will have to demo this, I think, just because I haven't played with one personally myself yet. I'm assuming that they work very similar to the other binding machines, except for this does not require heat like the Love Story does, or a special machine. Love Story does stuff with laminating machines, which is great, and we still do have some Love Story downstairs, but these are a lot easier to use, and you can make them whatever length you want. And here's the reason why I say that. You've got the cinch binding wires, and what the machine does as you put your papers in to be able to bind it, you're going to punch it to put the holes in, and then you put the binder back in here, and then it binds it for you so that when you lift up the machine again, it has its holes and it's already punched for you and has the binding done for that one section. So then you have to slide it and move it if you have a taller page. So these are 12 inches long. So you can actually make a scrapbook size if you wanted to as a 12 by 12, or you can make an 8.5 by 11, hence the reason why it says A4 on there. You can make a 5 by 7 is your A5, and then your A6 is smaller. So it just depends on what you're wanting to do and how to do it. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate it. Adeline, between you and me, they never called my name either. Yeah. Sorry, I see that message up a little bit higher. All righty. We'll see if Irene joins us today. Thank you for the info, Mary. So it comes in that silver. It comes in black. You can see the binder example on this one. When in doubt, vacation. This one didn't really have any pictures on it. It just did the nice show of the binding. And this one is the same. So this one is white. So we've got white, silver, and black for our bindings currently. And so this is the book binding machine. I'm going to close it back down. Okay. And then we'll see. We'll see what I can make with one of those, I guess. That'll be fun, especially since I already opened it. Okay, so we have the Essential Crafters Pack from We Are Memory Keepers. We've sold these magnetic platforms with the rulers before from We Are Memory Keepers. They're kind of a go-to for us. We have them in, I think they're blue right now, maybe, and then Hunky Dory has a version that's dark purple. But this ruler will attach because it's magnetic, and this platform is magnetic. So you're going to be able to get that still usable in this process. So I just want to make sure, because I'm pretty positive it's magnetic. They always have been. Well, I'll tell you what.
There's a blue one right there.
Where's the blue one?
Next one down.
Oh.
The exact one that we've been using.
Yeah. It's a little bit darker blue. And I don't think that's any bigger. I don't think it's any bigger. It might be a little bit bigger, but I don't think so. I'm just going to open the purple one because we've already covered the fact that our Craft Palace is purple. So this becomes a necessity. Is that really sad or what? This way we can see if it's magnetic, and I'll get a new thing. Really, I can't afford to work here. I always tease Debbie with it, but
You sealed it well.
they did seal it well. And I'm going to tell you that it's definitely a magnetic platform. And try and get in between here and the front to open it instead of trying on the back, because I ended up using the scissors and now I have a little chunk taken out of right there in order to break open the plastic. So they never make these things easy to open due to people that take things, but they sure don't make it easy for the rest of us that use the things. Okay, so yes, it's definitely magnetic. It's going to measure either direction so that you can line it up for 1 through 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so you have up to 7 inches. And it shows your halves and your quarters and your 16ths. So you've got lots of options there. You also have a shorter version of the centimeter type if you like doing centimeters. I like centimeters so that I don't have to do my fractions. My granddaughter showed me fractions the other day, yesterday, and I went, honey, what are you doing? I don't understand. This is so much easier if you just do it this way. She goes, well, that's not the way a teacher said to do it. So I'm doing it this way. And magically, I still haven't figured out what the teacher did. But magically, whatever it was that she did, it was still the right answer. So she's obviously teaching it well. And Emma's understanding the steps, which is great, but I can't help her. Because she came to me and she said, I have a question about this. I'm like, I have no clue. Okay, so you get a razor blade for your little X-Acto knife. This is a really nice, it's giving you something that's very narrow here. And then it's going to give you that pressure and control if you need something close up at the top. And it's also comfortable in a couple of other twists and ways. So if you have a finger that doesn't do the job as well as it used to, like mine is slowly starting to turn, and it started hurting the other day. So with that, I might have to, not put the pressure where I'm used to putting pressure as things go by. And this is going to give you that ability so that you can have a smooth edge, and then it can kind of grasp into here. So maybe I'm not using the sore part of my knuckle. I can use it here, which is different feel, but it works. This has 2 caps. So this is one of them, and this is the other, and they look like they're the same size. So you've got scissors that are inside a little beautiful purple thing with white and purple. You've got the light purple X-Acto knife. It comes with a blade. You've got the ruler. You've got the platform. You have a very nice set of tweezers. These are the kind that push out and then can pull it tight. And then you can use that to pick up your stickers, to do whatever you want. And that has a little cap on the pointy end. They are really sharp at the end. I don't know that we can really see that, but it's a good little thing. So there is the tweezers. And nope, it doesn't have anything at the end. I thought maybe it had something on the back end. And then this one, it's going to tell me what this one is. Uh-oh, no signal. We're going. Can we hit the refresh? We've had that happen before and it just joins back in where it was.
What the no signal? Oh, it's this. Say something has come undone.
Oh, there you go. We're back. Sorry, guys. Hello. Hi, Thelma. I lose track of time all the time. Who knows? Bryce knocked something in the camera loose, or the chair did, or I did. Who knows? And in that time, I still cannot come through and say what this is, but I now have the opportunity because I'm reading. So here is your brad setter. I don't know how it is used. I will have to look at that and come back to you with how to make it work. I haven't seen this particular tool before. But if it's anything like our usual brad type setters, it's going to give you a nice little hole and kind of bore it just a little bit. This is the other end. Oh, wait. It's just a screw. Just a screw. Yep. So I have a feeling I know what this is and how to use it, but I will have to go through and take a look. Yeah. I am going to say that that is not it. Okay. So, and then we've got the pokey tool at the other end. So you have a lot of neat things with this tool set. And Bryce, can you look up a price on this? Because I am expecting it to be a really good deal.
Okay, where am I looking?
At new listings that are like halfway down. And it's going to be in June. And it's towards the bottom. Or I should say the little bit further.
Page 2?
Yeah. I think it's starting after that. Okay. So we have a couple things. So I'm going to take note of the prices. So this little toolkit in blue, pink, and purple is $36.99. And that's a lot that you're getting for that. A lot of times just the platform and the magnetic ruler is sitting, I think, at about 12 or 13. So this way you're getting a lot of tools, and they're ergonomic so that they're going to really fit nicely in your hands. I just showed you a couple of ways. Everything has a nice pad on it. I don't know if you can see the pads that are like on the tweezers, but I can move them and they're nice and soft on my hand, unlike normal tweezers that maybe don't fit quite as well. So these are our colors. We've got lilac, dark blue, medium blue, teal blue. We'll go with the teal blue. And then the pink. So on to the next thing from We Are Memory Keepers. Can you hold it there for just one more second? Sorry, can you go down just a little bit? The cinch machine is $98.99 for the binding tools. And can you go down just a little bit more? Okay, so that I can see the price on those. Okay, all right. So the next thing on our items list, I did say 1766, right? Some weird number. 36. Okay. We have crocodiles in from We Are Memory Keepers. These are not available for purchase. I just got a note on the back from Brittany when I flipped this over. Hello, Norillis. So the way that it's set up is that I have a feeling that her note saying store only means that we are not going to carry them in Amazon or Etsy. So it's just going to be in our store. And I'm going to assume it's all the We Are Memory Keeper products.
Do with the Crop-A-Dile?
So the Crop-A-Dile is a hole punch, but it does various different things. So these have edges on them that will cut your corners and round them, and it's in a nice sturdy squeezable piece. So it's kind of like a regular hole punch. It just has a really good mechanism so that you're not having to punch so hard. It will cut through things like your chipboards that won't necessarily work well with your corner trimmers from the little ones that you will see from Hunky Dory's got one. We've got some in a couple of different brands downstairs. And so this is a squeeze instead of a punch. And so it means that you're using two hands. I'm going to bring that in really close. My husband bought me one of these for Christmas one year. And so there's the squeezing of the handle when you line up everything. So there are various different ways to be able to cut on just one. Crop-A-Dile, it's not limited to just a corner, for example. So you squeeze down and it will cut it. You have a little space for it to empty the goodies. It comes out of right here at the very top. And when you squeeze down your quarters, let's see which this one does. It can be used on chipboard, cardstock, plastic, leather, and more. I have used some of this on heavier fabric that I wanted to do something with. So this is a 1.5 inch corner. This one is also a corner. I'm hoping that it will show you. Yeah, here we go. So in this one, this green one is the round. So it's going to cut your rounders. These are heavier duty, remember, and they're going to cut through thicker things. So if you just use regular paper, it's probably not as necessary, but if you use anything that has a little bit of weight to it, like our 300 GSM, this is going to make it really easy to cut. So this is the other shape that comes in the vibrant neon yellow-green color. It has there's a side that has a, I'm not going to point to it correctly, but this one right over here, this one has a little deco corner on it. So it's not a flat rounded corner. It's got a little set right there. And this one actually calls it the stub and deco. And then this other side has it so that it's punching out the corner itself for you. So you get two options on either side. So you would hold it like this. I'm going to hold really still, hope that it can catch this for me. Might not. There we go. Okay, so depending on where you put your paper, you're either going to put it up here or you're going to put it down there. And where you put it is where it's going to cut from. So you just squeeze and it cuts. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense about how to use it. And then this one is a petite, a large, and a small angle cut. So this one's going to give you a little bit of not a corner, but more of a triangle look. And then you've got this one that looks like a flattened mountain almost. You're gonna have it cut around to take that angle, but then you're gonna take that corner right off. And so it's gonna give you a more angled look. So, and keep in mind when you saw these, can you pull back for me for just a second? Thank you. When you saw these, they each say something about small and large. And what it just means is that for each of these, you're going to have a side that will cut a smaller amount and then a side that will cut a bigger amount. So let me see if I can point it right. So this small petite, if you see the corner is just getting cut on the tip end, And on this side, it's taking the corner away completely, and then you have that. So that's why this side says small and this side says large. They are $36.99. And mine has come in very handy. Alrighty, this comes after this. Let me knock everything over in the process. I have all of the Cosmic Shimmer watercolors and botanical stains and the Jane Davenport. I have them all here in front of me from Debbie a couple of weeks ago, and I haven't cleared it off yet. So I need to make sure that I do that this week. Okay, so this is kind of a little mini, not kind of, it is a little mini die cutting machine. And I love the silhouette that I've had in the past. Emma has it now. She's able to use the style that comes from Sizzix very nicely. The baby blue is the same machine as well. And I think we have maybe one or two of those left. But what I notice is that these cutting plates that go with it are wider. They go a little bit wider. So that's going to say that this hole is a little bit wider. If you were to use this set of dies, you wouldn't be able to cut past this space here, the second one in. And in fact, it might not even cut the second one in. It may have to sit right there. And so it's nice for having little things, so it's not so hard on your hands. It moves easily, but it gives you just that little bit more width to it that maybe you're hoping for when you're pulling something like this out. And then this also has a latching piece to it. So you set it down on your glass, you lock it down, it's on there. It's not going to move as you're spinning it. And if you haven't had a chance to pick up one of the Tim Holtz glass media plates and you don't have a glass piece at home, I have a huge glass piece over the top of my entire desk at home. And I also have the glass mat from Tim Holtz. This one is from Tonic. Tonic and Tim Holtz usually will join together when they're doing something. So his, I think, is a little bit narrower and a little bit longer. So we have those still for sale, and they go great with something like this. So it's never going to move. You'll be able to put it down, and even if you're trying to push something through a little bit more, it's okay, because it's going to only go if you let it. So this is me pushing, pushing down, pushing back and forth, and it barely moves. So I did not give an update on Debbie yet. I was waiting just because I wanted to wait until a few extra people showed up before I started. So Debbie is doing well. She went in to see the doctor today about the next process. And so she got a drain out today. So that's exciting. All in of itself, that's exciting. And she's got one more that needs to come out over this next week. And she goes to see the radiologist, set up an appointment in order to be able to start radiation treatments, which we knew was a very, very strong possibility that it would be there. It didn't surprise her or me. And I don't think Bryce, you weren't surprised. So we just were kind of expecting that. And the doctors are saying that she has to be healed with her drains and her stitches, and everything is healing well before they start radiation. So it's going to be a little bit of a process over this month before radiation even starts. So there's going to see the doctor the first time, and then there's a couple of tests. And so, it's never quick and easy. None of it is. And you just want it to be done and over with. So, but in general, she's good. She was extremely upbeat and not very sore. And I laughed because I knew that she had some pain medication with her. And so I thought, oh, that pain medication is working great. But I don't know, Bryce, how long was the pain medication till? Is she still?
I think she only took it like 3, maybe 4 days.
Yeah.
She hasn't had it the last 2 days.
Yeah. She had said that she was feeling really good and that but she was still using the painkiller a little bit. So I figured by this midweek that she would be done because it happened a week ago. So she's already off of pain meds. So that's amazing. A little tired, but that's expected. Her body's working hard to heal.
Yes, it is.
And let me tell you, she's a strong woman. Body, soul, heart, you name it. She's going to just keep trucking along. Okay, so with this little machine comes the die cut set of the rounds with the little stitch edges all the way around. Super cute. You've got a little direction sheet that tells you how to use your plates and how to make sure that those happen. I want to remind you that anytime that you use a plate system, it's always a good idea to flip your plates the next time you use them and just flip each one physically over and then run that. And then if you have something else to do, flip your sandwich over and then do that. It's going to keep them from bending. It's going to keep them from, it's going to keep them to where they can stay center. Your dies will stay center and you won't end up with a divot in here to where you can't cut dies to where you need new plates early. That is really, to me anyways, the key about how to work these plates. And because they are a narrower piece, it's just a little bit easier to bend, but they've given you a lot of space and thicker plates than I see with the Sizzix and the baby blue. So let me open this up so that you can see the plates. Oh, I forgot to mention the crocodiles are $36.99 and they're underneath the June new listings section. So, or you can type "We Are Memory Keepers" and then just make sure that you click the little bar that decides your search, which is sort by relevance. Otherwise, you're going to get just the new listings piece. And after a couple months, if you're looking at this later and you want to try and find it, it will still be in June of 2025. But if you're just trying to search directly from the store quickly by typing in "We Are Memory Keepers die cutting," that's how you would find us the fastest, or find this item the fastest. Same thing goes for anything that you see. So because I am staggering out showing what these things are, some of them were done last week, some of them were done this week, and some were actually done the week before. So it comes with the 2 embossing folders. One is the Swiss polka dot, the other is a chevron. It comes with a little pack of ivory and white papers for some practice. And here are the sheets. So you have a C plate. Look at how nice and thick that is, just like what you would see on our bigger machines. I really like seeing that. And then you've got a B plate and an E plate. So that's what you use for this set, a B, a C, and an E. And your E plate is going to stand for embossing. So this will go here. It will help if you have a rubber mat with these embossing pieces. It will give you a little bit of a deeper emboss. But if you spray your paper, then this thinner plate will work as an emboss without the rubber. Just a reminder for all of you out there. And I do not know what the price of this little guy is. Trying to give you some prices on these so that you know what you got. $69.99. So that's a really good deal for one of these little guys. It seems like, but it's so little. But they take all the same machinery parts as the big ones do. And this is something that can sit at your desk and not overwhelm your space. Mine is big and clunky, and I have to lift it up and carry it and move it, and then I've got to set it down where I put it, and so sometimes that makes for a little bit more ruckus. Okay. All right. I'm going to go back to Hunky Dory because we had some Hunky Dory that came in last week, and I want to show you some of it today. I don't know how much we'll get through. I got 20 minutes left, so you might see us get through quite a bit. Sorry, got to move some stuff off the table in order to show this. Okay. I was going to say, I don't see that. There it is. Okay. So, along with the new We Are Memory Keepers, for some of your littler, smaller dies, when you're using a die cutting machine, sometimes the dies end up sprawled all over the place, and then you have to go searching for them. And I know that when I come in and Debbie has done something with dies, I have to find the dies and put them all back where they're needed. And so, anyways, Debbie said, I'm getting one of these so that it will hopefully help so that I don't lose the dies as much. I like this idea. Don't tell Debbie, but I find all the dies. It might require me on my hands and knees looking around, but I always find the dies. But this will be so much cheaper for her instead of paying me to look for dies. So I'm sure that you'll see one of these here at her desk sometime soon. I believe that they are right around $14 from what I saw. And I'm not going to open this one up yet. I'm pretty positive that Debbie will want to open this one up. But what it is it's a magnetic sheet. And the sheet stands either upright like this so that you have a taller space. And it's about this, it's about this narrow. But it's like this tall. And if you pop it out, it's going to have a triangular shape to it. Two sides are going to be not the same. It should be about the same length as the front, but because of a bend in the back, it helps hold it all up. So you can do it this way, or you can do it laying upright, or you can do it laying on its side like this. And from there, just when you're done using a die, you just put it here on your magnetic sheet. It is really heavy, thick magnets that are throughout the sheet to help hold those dies on there. And it covers a 5x7 area. So that's about the size that you're looking at to hold those dies on. And most people don't really go for bigger dies than that most of the time, unless they're making really big cards or they're doing shape cards. But on the whole, most dies are going to fit on this 5x7 or be even smaller. So you could really use them and not lose them. So I like that a lot. So that is the new handy dandy that we haven't had before. Hunky Dory has now gone to, and I'm so happy to see this. It makes it so much easier. They are 120 GSM papers. I love this size just because when I buy the A4s of the maps, for example, and these lighter, smoother papers, these in fact have this one has a matte. I don't know if all of them will be matte, but no, it says 12 different versatile patterns and texture designs. So we may see some texture on some of the papers. Like I felt this one and it feels like thicker watercolor paper almost. It's still the thinner 120 GSM, but it feels like it's heavy duty. This is the next. I really like this texture. And there is 4 of each page. This one actually looks like it's a little envelope that was folded. They've put a printable decrease in the lines, so it looks like it's a folded piece of paper originally. You can see it there too. So that makes it feel real. A real piece of older paper that somebody had used. I like that. This one is a little bit smoother. There's no texture to the top, but it's a matte. It isn't silky. So the textures do change a little bit. And this one is all scripts. So, and they are not double-sided. That's something to know as well. And then this feels more like it's smooth, and it just feels kind of like a thicker cardstock paper. It's not heavy. It's still that 120 GSM, but it's heavier than a normal copy paper would be if you were to do a copy. So we've got that print. Looks, all of these really neat prints, and the colors are just beautiful. This would be fun to use with your botanical stains too, because since you already have colors on here, you can go through and use stamps over the top, because this isn't glossy paper. This paper can hold a stamp. So if you want to make something like this, but you want it in a different color up here, you can choose any of these botanical stains with your stamp and put it on, and you would have beautiful, beautiful stamp print along with, so you're really helping make some of the paper too, which is a fun, neat thing to do. Okay, so that one is script. I think that these are 5x7s. Don't quote me on that until I measure it. It looks like it. Oh, it's an A5 sheet. So yes, it will be a 5x7. Really, really close. English measurements, you might be off a centimeter one direction or the other, but not enough. Hi, Mary. Okay, this one is marble. And it has, again, 48 sheets with different patterns, textures, 12 different patterns and textures out of that 48. So those are your general colors. These are pretty, aren't they? Mm-hmm. Look at this. Oh, so, so pretty.
What do they weigh?
They're 120 GSM. I did see that somewhere. Yes, 120 GSM. You can't quote me on anything ever.
I like that green one.
Yeah, this green one's really pretty.
Ooh.
So these specifically are looking like when you take a pixie powder and you put it on your paper. You can use it on a smoother source than just a watercolor paper, and they will still attach and dry. You can make this look yourself, or if you're going, I don't want to have that mess, I don't want to use that, then this is a perfect pad for you, because then you have all the fun prints without the mess. I like messes.
I don't know anybody who wants this pad in this group.
It's fun playing with your hands. My mother will love these because she does not like to make a mess. So, so pretty. And again, they're not double-sided. I'm going to save some of these for next week to show you all, but I'm just going to show you what kind is out there if you want to get a head start. There's weathered wood, there's lace. This one's mine. There's craft paper. And then there's the watercolor pad. So really pretty. It's catching. Okay, I'm going to open this one for just a second because I feel like the screen is maybe showing you something that's not really there, that's on the plastic. Yes. Okay. It was starting to look like they had some pearlescent in the watercolor, but there's some stuff on the top that gave it a look. Okay. I'll show you that one next time. Okay, so we'll go through these other 4 next week. Maybe not 4, maybe 2 or 3. You know, keep you guessing. I'm never going to find which trays I've put all the goodies into. Okay. We got a new one of these in. A new set, just like the Blushing Blooms that we got last week that I showed you. We also got this Hunky Dory set in. It's the new stained glass, and it's called Wonderful Wildlife. So this is going through and doing all the animals in a stained glass version. So let's take this little piece out, and here we go. There's a bird and a butterfly, hedgehog, and a bee. I love this one. It's got, this is your, one of your cardstocks. Let's see what the other cardstock is in the middle. This is the other cardstock. And this one, okay. This one is the regular paper. And then this has a little bit of that same black Miri that's on the front here. So you aren't getting what we call a foiled edge necessarily, but it is still foiled, quote unquote, with the black Miri. So you can see how those would stand up. So they're really pretty. Okay, next in the line is Woodland Wonders. This has bunny rabbits, owls, and squirrels. So look at our little squirrel guy. So cute. Here's our toppers. They give you a lot of nice little tags in here, so that's going to be a lot of fun. My dad did a diamond painting that looks very similar to this. It didn't have the stained glass look, but it had a deer that had roses and things wrapped around it, and it's just really pretty. So they put it up as a Father's Day decoration for their church. Yeah, because my mom decorates the church. So my dad joined in this time around. I mean, he always helps her do all the stuff, but do all the decorating, but he usually doesn't make the decorations. Usually that's a mom thing. So they love doing it, and I think that it's great. It gives her a creative outlet that she feels great about doing, and it's fun for her. So I love it. And every once in a while, she'll get one of the grandkids have to go down and help her. Okay. The first one is, I forgot to say what the first topper set was, which is Garden Friends. And then this is our Pond Life. This is beautiful. Look at this, guys. That's the cardstock for the back of this one. Oh, so pretty. Okay. We have an otter and a swan and a kingfisher, some dragonflies on some lotus, a little frog. There's your swan. So pretty. I like this set too. Okay, I like the whole set, I have to say. But I have liked the stained glass ones that they've done so far. So it's nice to see the new set. I was hoping that they were going to continue with them, so I'm glad that they did. And then this is the last one on the farm. So we have the sheep, the Highland cow, a horse, and a rooster on the farm. This is that stained glass one. And let me open it up and show you the other piece. So Salt and Pepper is our rooster. And Salt and Pepper doesn't like us. And so he's gone after both James and Emma a couple of times. And since we ended up with 4 roosters with the batch of babies that we ended up having because, you know, my husband is a pushover and doesn't want to take the birds when they're brooding. So anyways, he went through and he said, I think we need to keep one of the new roosters. You decide on which one you think will be the nicest, and I think we need to put the other 3 out into a farm that is a true, like, big farm. They raise them for poultry use, and so Salt and Pepper might actually be Salt and Pepper Chicken about now. It was really hard for me to do that because he wasn't mean to me. So, but man, they were both happy when Salt and Pepper headed off in the back of the truck. And so I chose the biggest rooster that was there. And James goes, but he's huge. Isn't he going to be meaner because he's bigger? And I said, no, he's actually going to be slower because he's bigger. So you might be able to get away from him. He also has no interest of hanging around humans except for to get treats, which means that he's going to be happy so long as he gets treats.
Right.
And James does all the treat feeding with Emma. So then that way they get used to the 2 of them and like them more than they even like me. So we so far have never been able to catch and pick up Brutus and carry him around and love him like we did Salt and Pepper. And so maybe that's a good thing. He's keeping his distance from us, but man, he's such a good rooster. And he's like a tween, but teen. Probably like a teen, but he's doing such a great job, and he's nice and big. So things that are out there that are bigger than him. Well, we can tell you that he's a silver Wyandotte. and one of our other chickens.
Oh, he's a mixture.
So I believe that just looking at him and seeing him, I think that he's an Americana. The Americanas are a little bit smaller. So the other option is that he's one of the Brahmas, which is very possible too, because he has the head shape of dark Brahma, who is a browner color. And oh, he is so pretty. So that reminds me of him. All right, I digress. Okay.
Just a little.
Wonderful wildlife. This is the stained glass foiled. So you can see that it's got a gloss to it. And I really see it on this black one next. See the difference of where the foiled pieces are compared to the paper. So that's what you're going to get with each of these. This one has it too. It's not picking it up as well. There we go. I got to figure out which light to shine it under. There it is. So this is going to be your response when somebody opens the card. They're going to see these, all 4 of these colors that you're seeing in here if a light shines on it. We've got dark blue. This one's beautiful. Of course, you know me. I like anything with botanicals on it. Laces on it. That's pretty much my thing. Okay.
That was cool.
It is. They're beautiful. Got some brick. You should have 2 of each of these. Oh, wait. Nope. You've got 2 different prints on different color papers. So this is its version of these 2, just like the bricks had 2 versions. So you're going to see those colors repeat again in here, but you're getting different prints. So you've got 2 sets. If you pull them both apart, you have 2 sets of each pattern, but they're going to be different colors. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Okay. So this is this side. And the camera is having a little bit of trouble picking that one up just because of the little tiny lines in here. Digital cameras don't necessarily like those things, but it just really looks like a plaid print. And then we've got the swirls from kind of like a wave look. Oh, hey, this is a wave look. Let me throw that one back out there to you for a minute. This would be beautiful with your On the Pond papers, along with the vining. I think would probably go good with the forest creatures. So they've really tried to think about different ways that you can use these. And on the farm, I guess that's the plaid. Okay, let's see. We are right there. Okay, so what I just showed you was the foiled and the toppers for this set. It's the luxury kit for the stained glass Wonderful Wildlife. I will show you the acetate next week, the adorable scorable, and the Miri that can come with this, along with our stained glass little book. So make sure that you come in and join us next week. And you'll get to see the papers and inserts close up and in person. Not really in person, but as close as you can possibly get. Anyways, that is it for today. Does anyone have any questions before we say goodbye?
Karen just joined just in time to say goodnight.
Hi, Karen. So I'm just going to, just because people drifted in at different times, I'm just going to give a quick update for Debbie. So Debbie is doing well. She came home the very next day after her surgery, which was ridiculous. But what that means is that she was feeling good enough and her body was good enough to be able to come home and be ready to do the next steps at home care. And so she went back to the doctor today, and they discussed what was going to be happening next. And as expected, she's going to need to start radiation therapy, but she will not start until the wounds have, for the most part, healed. And the getting into the doctor's offices takes a little bit to make all that work. So she should have about 3 to 4 weeks time before she has to start radiation, I believe. Is that right? Do I have the numbers kind of close?
I think they said 4 to 6 weeks.
4 to 6. Okay,
Yeah.
I like that better.
Yeah.
So, good. All righty. So that is what's happening with Debbie. She's feeling very well, and she gets tired, of course, but she's in good spirits. And she's just plugging along. So if you have any questions, you can always send us an email at customer service, or you can send it directly to Debbie. I'm not positive how frequently she's checking email right now. She is more alert than she was during chemo, in my opinion. And so she feels like she's kind of her usual self to a certain extent. Tired, but usual self. So if you have any questions, you're always welcome to ask her. She loves hearing from you guys. So thank you so much. And I'm going to say good night.